This next story is a true story of an Asian American man who lost his life tragically with a Tinder date gone wrong.
The family of a young man from Orange County is struggling with their grief and at the same time trying to find out how and why he was killed while on vacation in Colombia.
This story should be used as an example of what are the possibilities when dating, visiting, or traveling around the world. Not everything that glitters is gold. Here it goes. California-based logistics consultant Paul Nguyen, 27, was drawn to the Colombian city of Medellin for its vibrant nightlife and his growing appeal to digital nomads. He planned a trip with a friend, intending to explore the city, soak in the atmosphere, and attend a Bad Bunny concert later in the week. While in Medellin in November, Paul decided to try his luck on Tinder and match with a young woman named Evelyn and now Herrera. They arranged to meet at a bar in the upscale El Poblado neighborhood. Known for its chic and artsy cafes and gourmet restaurants, Paul snapped a photo of her, a slim brown-haired woman in a white jacket and dark jeans. While she wasn't looking, he shared it on Snapchat with his friends. Adding the caption, "The language barrier is unreal." The next morning, Paul's body was found beside a dumpster in a different neighborhood over 5 miles away from El Poblado. His wallet and phone had been stolen. Authorities believe he fell victim to a drugging gone wrong, part of the rising wave of Tinder honey trap robberies across Colombia. On Tuesday, Colombian police announced the arrest of the woman Evelyn and now Herrera in connection with Paul's murder, along with 2 alleged male accomplices. The trio accused of being part of a gang that orchestrates robberies through dating apps. This arrest marks a rare form of justice for victims of a growing scam seen worldwide, particularly in Latin America. Men are lured by women on dating apps, drugged for days, and then robbed as their bank accounts are emptied. Similar Tinder-related robberies have occurred in Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil, targeting both foreigners and wealthy locals. Colombia, in particular, has experienced a rise in such crimes in recent years. "We mourn every day and continue to do so until justice is met," said Paul's sister Amy. Hearing that we might finally get justice for Paul flickers a new hope. "We want the people who did this to never forget," she continued. "I don't want another family to go through what we've been through." Paul's friend grew concerned when he didn't return to their Airbnb and noticed unusual charges on Paul's credit card late at night. His body was discovered on November the 10th, the following morning. Authorities suspect Paul was drugged with clonazepam, a sedative, during his date. The use of drugs to incapacitate victims, particularly tourists, has been a problem in Colombia for years, with scopolamine, also known as devil's breath, being a notorious culprit.
Estamos reunidos una vez más acá con el fin de poder organizar y hacer el briefing de una operación que vamos a realizar el día de hoy. Es una operación muy delicada porque vamos a combatir una de las estructuras criminales que más historia tienen en Medellín, en los que podemos encontrar elementos tales como armamento y estupefacientes.
However, private investigator Jorge Wilson notes that recently, synthetic drugs such as benzodiazepines and clonazepam have become more commonly used, which are even more dangerous in high doses. Wilson emphasized that these gangs are often small, with 3 or 4 members able to execute a scam. Tinder's rising popularity and the availability of synthetic drugs have made it easier for such groups to target victims. At least 41 people have been victims of drug-related robberies in Medellin in 2023, according to Caracol Noticias. Although police did not publicly announce the arrest until April the 4th, they took place on March the 31st, according to Daniel Rodriguez, the Nguyen family's lawyer. The suspects, Evelyn and 2 men, faced their first court hearing on April the 3rd, where they were remanded in custody until further proceedings. Rodriguez explained that each suspect had a distinct role. Evelyn lured the victim, set up the date, and administered the lethal drug, while one of the men allegedly drove the getaway car, and the other coordinated the assault. Paul's Snapchat photo of Evelyn proved crucial in the investigation. His friend, Eduardo, had quickly screenshot the image after noticing his disappearance. Despite this, authorities hadn't opened a murder investigation 5 days after Paul's death, prompting Eduardo and his family to pursue their own investigation. We found it unacceptable, so we hired our own team to help us launch a parallel investigation, Eduardo explained. They worked with a local security company, UNTHINKABLE Medellin, to gather evidence from Paul's social media, credit card transactions, and crowdsourced information. Their efforts helped build a thorough case, which authorities later used to make arrests. Wilson, the private investigator, noted that these dating app robbery gangs are typically independent, with several small groups operating in Colombia. In fact, a separate gang was arrested in Medellin for a similar scam in August. This type of crime is not exclusive to Tinder. In 2019, a similar scam was uncovered in London involving a woman and her partner who targeted a man they met on another dating app. Similar cases have occurred in Argentina as well. Wilson noted that these gangs typically target individuals who appear to have wealth. While foreigners are often victims, locals with visible wealth are also at risk. Eric Hall, an American who survived a similar ordeal in Medellin in 2021, spoke out after hearing about Paul's death. Hall, who had been drugged and robbed during a Tinder date, shared his story to raise awareness about the widespread nature of the scam. Although he faced online criticism, he felt compelled to speak up, especially after Paul's tragic fate. Hall recounted how he had been drugged after meeting a woman on Tinder. He woke up 3 days later realizing he had been robbed of roughly $7,000. While his case didn't lead to arrest, he was grateful to have survived. The arrest of Evelyn and her accomplices in Paul's case offers some hope for justice. The legal process in Colombia still has many steps before a potential conviction. We hope Paul's legacy will inspire hope and systematic change, Eduardo said. We want legal justice for Paul and hope to see it through. For those using dating apps, the risks remain ever present. This story is tragic. Paul was young and had a long life to live, and Evelyn and her buddies decided to cut it short for a few dollars. This story echoes a recent story I shared of Fernando, who, unlike Paul, was lucky enough to have walked away with his life. I hope this serves you as a warning on the signs to look out for when deciding to date or travel in Colombia. And if you still decide to travel to Colombia or other parts of Latin America, make sure to learn Spanish, even at a basic conversational level, so you can lower your risk of getting into a similar predicament. Pa que vos lo sepas, just so you know. And to the Nguyen family, I want to send my condolences, and I hope this story saves another life. Make sure to check out my previous video on Fernando, an American who had the unthinkable happen to him right here. And send over a story of your own that you'd like to be featured in the next video. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. My name is Roberto, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.